I just had the strangest interaction with Amazon I think I've ever had. I love Amazon, but this is weird. So check this out. So I jump on the Amazon via the app, and I was looking at stuff, and then there was a listing that was just plain deceptive. You know, lately more and more like third-party sellers and whatnot, it's because they've become more of a platform, and the things we're buying on there are stuff from other sellers. So it's not like it used to be where you're buying from Amazon, you're buying from any Joe Schmo schmuck. So anyway, more and more of these listings are coming on that are sketchy. And finally I just had it, and this one was just blatantly deceptive. So naturally, I'm like, I'm gonna report this. I scroll down, nothing, scroll down, nothing, scroll down. There's no report this button for listings. I'm like, all right, that can't be. This is Amazon. So I scroll back up, I scroll back down, I scroll back up. There's nothing. I look in the menus, nothing. There is no way to report bad behavior or bad listing or bad seller. But I did found one thing you can report: other customers for their comments. But try to lodge a complaint or point out a bad seller or a bad product listing, zip. I'm like, what's going on with this? So I'm like, all right, I'm missing something here, or I don't know. So I go looking for support, because now I'm just like curious. So I go to support and I do searches on their support, pages, a database of a knowledge base, whatever you want to call it. Nothing. I put in there, how do I complain about a bad listing or a bad seller? And I get everything but anything related to that. I'm like, what is going on? I can't be the only one. So when I've exhausted that, there's no way, they don't have anything on it. Their little intelligence system asked me if I want to pose a question to the Amazon community. I'm like, okay. And it switches me over to some like Amazon forum, right? And there's all these like product categories and whatnot where you can have conversations, I guess, with other people, other customers, whatever, about products and try and get some knowledge on that. So I said, fine. I'll go to like the general discussion area and ask, how do I make a complaint about a bad listing or a bad seller? So I register a little account, log into this Amazon forum thing, go through all the trouble to write out this question, and as soon as I hit done, bam, kicks me out. I'm like, but now I'm getting irritated, so I'm determined, I'm being stubborn. So I log back in, and I try it again, and only this time I try to be a lot more careful, make sure I don't crash the system, word it real simply. How do I report a bad listing, or a deceptive listing, or a bad seller? And I go to hit done. Boom, kicks me out. Apparently it doesn't want me to ask. I tried 2 more times in different ways until finally I just get fed up with the whole ask the community thing, because every time I try to ask, I get kicked out. So finally I get some chat help, and I was like, and it's obviously the first line of defense is a bot. So the bot asked me, how can it help me? I was like, how do I file a report or a complaint about a bad listing or a bad seller? And the bot asked back, you have a problem with a product or no? How do I file a report? How do I report a bad listing or a bad customer? And then nothing. I'm like, well, it says, would you like me to connect you with a customer service associate or whatever? I'm like, fine, yes, connect. Wait a few minutes. Then a customer service dude enters, a human supposedly, enters the chat, little chat discussion. He says, I'm so-and-so, and I'm here to help. And I'm waiting. Nothing. I'm like, okay. Do you have an answer? Nothing. Then the guy says, are you having problems with the product? No. I want to know, how do I report a bad listing or deceptive listing or bad behavior on the part of the seller? No response. Then the guy says, can I get your phone number and I will connect you with somebody in our what would they call it? Concerned team. I'm like, what? I'm like, so you have no answer for me and you want my phone number for what? What's next? I'll never get called? Long pause. They'll finally do response with, no, we're gonna have somebody from our concern team is going to call you. I'm like, okay. He says, please hang on. So I hang on. And a couple minutes go by, and lo and behold, I just started typing up a message saying, like I said, just getting ignored, kicked off stuff, and just blatantly, and I start complaining about it, and my phone rings, and it's somebody from Amazon, and she says, I'm such and such, I'm here to help you out. I understand you have a problem with a product, or how can I help you? I said, look, it's real simple. I have a very simple question. I shouldn't even be having to ask the question, but here it is. How do I report a bad listing or a deceptive listing or a bad seller? Pause. Nothing. Are you having a problem with the product? No. I said, look, I know you know what I'm talking about because every other website in the world has this. It's standard. Come on. There should be a report this button. If there's a bad listing or a bad seller, how do I make a complaint or report this? And this is how this conversation keeps going around in circles, where she's pretending she doesn't understand me and keeps asking if I have problems with a product or a service or this or that. I'm like, look, come on. You know what I'm talking about. Try it yourself. When you go home after your customer service job tonight, jump on there and tell me how do you complain about a bad listing? What happened? Because maybe it's just me, or maybe there's a glitch in the system right now while on the day I'm using it and wanting to do it, but there isn't one. I love Amazon, but what? Pause. I hear her laughing in the background. And she goes, well, we just like you to know that negative feedback is very important to Amazon because it helps us to be a better company. I said, if that was true, you'd have a report this button. And she laughs. I'm like, whatever. We'll see what happens, I guess. This is from Amazon? What is going on?